Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I filmed a video, and in this video basically what I wanted to do is start talking about my moon time journey and kind of follow on with what I was talking about in my video that I did in January to do with that, and basically start doing more of maybe like a video series on it, all talking about different steps and different things that I'm doing, which is what I'm doing as part of my journey with working with my menstrual cycle, or working with my just general feminine cycles, and working more in tune with that. I did want to document a little bit more of it previously, but I just never got around to doing anything. Sometimes I've not quite felt comfortable filming and talking about it. It does end up becoming quite a personal thing, a lot of work with it, so sometimes it is a little bit sort of daunting talking about certain things. So there has been a few experiences and things that I've been doing that I have been doing a lot of journaling with, but it's not necessarily something that I will always want to talk about on YouTube, which as I've started to do the journeying a little bit more, I've kind of discovered that. Yeah, I've been doing like plenty of journaling, like in my moon journal, which I spoke about in my previous video. This has seen quite a lot of things. I've just generally been doing quite a lot of tracking and journaling in here, different ceremony stuff that I've done as well that I've written about. But yeah, I'm still doing the tracking and things like that that I that I spoke about in the previous videos. I need to do another spread for June because I haven't actually done that part yet, and it's June tomorrow. So yeah, I need to get myself sorted with that. But yeah, I've been really liking working with this, and it's just really nice to have a full spread where you can have a look at the month and you can write down everything. You can track your emotions, and you can track everything. You can track all sorts of your emotions, when you're ovulating, if you do like ovulation tests and stuff like that, any cramps you get, any just general sort of menstruation symptoms, like of the things that come before and after and all that sort of PMS sort of thing. You can track it and sort of see where it happens within your cycle and when to expect it a little bit more, and you just kind of generally more in tune with it. So that's what I've done. I've tracked more when I'm feeling more creative and things like that, which generally it depends where my cycle sort of is spanning, really, because at first my I used to bleed on the full moon, whereas the last month and the month just gone, like I think it was, I bled on new moon, which is really different. So it's a really different I don't know, it's just such a weird thing to experience the full moon when you're menstruating and then experience it when you're ovulating, because the energies are just so different. And I actually quite like it this way around, when I'm ovulating with the full moon and when I'm ovulating and bleeding with the full moon. No, ovulating with the full moon and bleeding with the new moon, that's generally around about where my cycle sits. But it does change, like I said, it has changed from that, so it was a little bit sort of off course of things, and now it's kind of come on to this course. So it's interesting just experiencing that energy, and I feel like I work better on a full moon when I'm ovulating than possibly when I was menstruating. But I need to sort of have a look at the new moon and menstruating during the new moon. The new moon, and me bleeding on the new moon, and that sort of energy a little bit more. Sorry, I'm not making much sense, am I? But yeah, but that's what I'm tracking in here, and then I can look back at things surrounding that. So when I had sort of bursts of creativity, when I felt more sluggish, when I had sort of more of a lower mood, when I felt more positive, that sort of thing. It's all different things that I track within my journal, really. You can also track like all sorts really with it. You can track whatever you want, it's your journal. But I use this sort of, and also my contraceptive app, which is the Natural Cycles app, which I use. So with Natural Cycles, you get an app on your phone, or you can just use it as like online. I do have the app, but it's on my iPod, which is what I'm using to film with, so I can't show you on app form, but it's pretty much the same as on a mobile device here. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it. I've turned my screen brightness down because I did start filming this video earlier, but it was just a disaster trying to get it to show it. Oh my gosh, it was just a disaster trying to get it to be seen on the camera, and I'm not very good at editing or anything like that, so I didn't really want to have to edit massive chunks out of me swearing at the camera because I couldn't get it to work properly. But anyway, I'll talk about this in a minute. So you've got your app, and you also got your thermometer. I can't remember how much this is. Actually, I should be able to find out. You've got different packages, so depending on which package you get, you can get a thermometer or not. And then you go up in stars as well. The more you use the app, the more it gets in a recycle, you go up. So you start, I can't remember which one you start at, but basically you go up, and I'm on 3 stars now, which is a skilled cycler. And then you can go up to a pro cycler, and then you go up to a star cycler, but it's quite hard to get up to a star cycler, I think. I think to get up to a star cycler, you need to get other people to subscribe to it or something like that. I'm not entirely sure, but I have the yearly subscription. What is it? I don't know where it is. I thought. Yeah, you can refer a friend for that yearly subscription, and I think that's how you can end up getting up to that. I don't really know. It's one of your achievements that you can do, but I've never actually done that. But you've got different ways that you can use it. You can use it actually for planning a pregnancy, but I obviously use it for preventing a pregnancy because it's a form of contraception. I thought it said the price of it, but I can't see it here. Yearly subscription. Oh, it's £40 per year, which I don't think it was for £40 when I signed up for it. I think it was like 30 something, but obviously now it's gone up to £40. But I don't think that's too bad, to be honest. It is quite a chunk to pay out at first, but that one you're getting like your thermometer with it and everything. Well, actually, I think that's £40 now, even without the thermometer. Was that for? I can't remember. But no, I do still think it is a good thing, and I will most likely continue on with it because, like I say, I do really like it, and it's good. You know, I don't have to do all the maths of working out like your temperature variation, things like that. So it is good. But yeah, you get your thermometer, which is nice, and it's like the decimal points, so it's got 2 decimal points, so if you can see that properly. So you just take your temperature every morning. So as soon as you wake up, before you do anything, take your temperature, and then you enter in your temperature in. So you'd go on to today. I've already entered my temperature, so you can see it at the top possibly, but your temperature is just up at the top, but it generally comes up with a page that generally looks like that, and you just enter your temperature in. You can enter whether you're on your period or not, if you've done an ovulation test, and then you've also got if you can also track if you've had sex or not, and also if you've used protection. and then you've got a section for notes at the bottom as well. So yeah, and then apparently today I'm actually ovulating, which just sort of makes sense because I've had 2 positive LH tests, but it does sometimes take a bit to actually get it all sort of properly together, because I think I actually did ovulate like yesterday or the day before, because it just felt more so like that was what was happening, but I don't know, because it generally puts all the information together sort of once you've had a full cycle, so things can move around, so that ovulation mark there that's at the bottom might actually move. But yeah, mine's a red day at the minute, so when you've got a red day it basically says to use protection because you are more likely to get pregnant, which obviously I'm around my ovulation phase at the minute, so sorry, that does make sense because obviously I am more likely to get pregnant. But you can also look at it month by month, so that's what this month looks like for May, and then all the green days are basically when you can, in theory, according to the algorithm that they set everything up to, that you can actually have sex without protection, and then all these little drops here are when I was bleeding. So my period is actually a bit strange this month. I'll show you the one before. Sometimes I bleed, not a lot, like this one's just 3 days bleeding, but my period actually took a long time to start this month. But generally you can see now I'm actually getting quite a few green days, like I get quite a few of them, so I've got quite a few days sort of after my period as well, which is quite good there. And then it also can give you predictions, but it does always warn you that your predictions might not always be real, but that's what it's thinking is going to be happening for the month of June. I know you can't see it that clearly, but that's generally what it looks like. And then I'll see if I can go back in time a little bit so you can see more so what it was like when I first started, if it's going to actually work. Oh my gosh, sorry. Go away. Thank you. It probably would have been better to use my phone. So actually I didn't realise when I got it, I actually must have got this in September because I put my period in here in September. So as you can see then, I had a lot more sort of red days because those were like my period days, and then I'd go red pretty much straight away. Whereas now, I feel like my green days, they're a lot more sort of planned and things like that. Like you can just generally tell more what's going on with myself now than what it used to end up like, because it was generally like just red most of the time when I first started. But it is red when you generally first start. Sorry, I was really close to the camera then. But it generally does end up red as you first start it because it's still getting used to you, and I'm pretty sure you'd rather it tell you that you are more likely to be red than tell you it's a green day and end up obviously in a bit of a situation. So yeah, and then you've got your history, so you can kind of scroll through your temperatures and you can see when you've got your little LH tests and things like that. Sorry, this is not working very well. It's not working very well. Sorry, got hiccups. But generally, you can generally see that, and you've got your notes in there as well, so you can actually have a reference back to your notes as well. But that is the main app that I use for contraception. There is other apps similar. There is something called Daisy. I've not actually used any other apps, but so far I do seem to get along well with natural cycles. So yeah, The only thing that I would say is they do have a shop on Natural Cycles. I don't know everything that they sell on there, but the LH tests that they tell you to do, if you buy them from them, they are really quite expensive, I think. I'm pretty sure I saw them and they were like £20 or something like that. They were quite expensive. I don't know how many you got in them. You might have got a lot, but I just get mine from Amazon, and you get like a big massive sort of pack of them. This has got like 30 in, and they're just like the ones where you pee in a pot and then stick it in the pot, and they work fine for me. Like, they're really quite clear results and stuff. As long as you follow the instructions, they should work fine for you. But yeah, they are absolutely fine. And it also says 1-step highly sensitive ovulation test. What we supply to the NHS, they are 1-step with the brand is what they are. And like I say, I've not had any problems with them. They seem to work fine for me. But yeah, just don't buy the really expensive ones because you can get them for quite cheap. I think you can get them in savers and things like that as well, but generally if you're tracking your fertility and things, you're probably going to want more than just what you get in savers, because you want to get like a pack of 3, I think, in savers, whereas you can get a pack of 30, so not very much, and it just comes straight through to your door and you don't even have to leave the house. So yeah, that's good. But yeah, so that's mainly all I've got to say about Natural Cycles. I do really like it. I would recommend looking into it. I think they also do shorter subscriptions as well, so if you wanted to do it for a few months, see how you got on, I'm pretty sure there is ones for that as well. I can't remember because obviously it was September that I set it up last, not this, no, was it? What? Yeah. Sorry. It was September, wasn't it? Like the September that's just obviously gone at the beginning, end of last year. So yeah, it has been a while, so I can't remember everything to do with the setting up process of it. But I would recommend looking into it if you are looking for a more natural form of tracking your cycle and actually using it as more of a contraceptive method. If you want to just track a period, there are other apps that are free, like I think Clue is still free. That's the one I used to use, but in terms of tracking your fertility, it does actually tell you about a fertile window, but it's not as in detail as the Natural Cycles one. But that's what I used to use, is Clue, just to generally track my cycle, and that was quite a nice one to use, because you can put all sorts of different information in there as well, like you've got different options for mood and you've got cravings and stuff like that. But I don't use that anymore because I can't be bothered to put data in my my Natural Cycles one and then put it in Clue. I think you can set it up on, if you've got an iPhone, there is actually the help app which you can get everything synced to. I haven't done that because although I do have an iPhone, I literally have no idea how Apple technology works, and I just haven't sunk anything to anything because I just don't want to lose any of my information, so I'm not doing that. But yeah, you can do that, I think. But yeah, if you do have any questions about Natural Cycles, feel free to leave it in the comments. If you generally have any questions about anything to do with this subject in general, you can ask me. My personal experience as well, if you want to ask me any questions, then just let me know and just leave me some comments and stuff. If you've tried it, let me know how you got on with it. If you tried any other apps and stuff that are similar, then also let me know, and let me know what you sort of think of it. So yeah, I'll see you in another video again soon, hopefully. Bye for now.